And welcome along to the TRL Footy Show, brought to you this week by Art by Leonardo's, Prescott Street, Toowoomba, the Oakey RSL, which were just humming last week, and Power FM, live from the Toowoomba Sports Club here on Power TV Australia. And I'll welcome my normal co-host, Obi. How are you, mate?
Look, I am on fire, Robbo. Looking forward to this week's round. We've got some crackerjack games.
Mate, I was really impressed last week at Oakey RSL. They rolled out the red carpet for us. Great meal, great people, and of course it spurred Oakey onto a victory.
And it sure did. It was absolutely fantastic at Oakey. The quiz went over well, didn't it, mate?
It did. I enjoyed playing scorekeeper in the quiz.
Was my questions too easy or too hard?
No, I thought they were good, particularly about the actual individuals, because they sometimes didn't know the answer to their own questions.
But that's right. That's exactly right. So I'd like to thank all those guys out there again, which we did on that day, and it was on that night, and it was fantastic, and what a historical win. We'll talk about that later on the show.
Okay, and who's on the panel today?
Well, we've got a few. Actually, we're waiting for Paul Reedy, who's caught in traffic, I'm sure, but if he's not here, we've got Chris McEwen, the coach of the 47th Battalion, and also the coach of Toowoomba Brothers, and also the return all the way from New Zealand after a break, Justin Murphy. So we're going to have a fantastic footy show, mate.
As always, we'll take a short break now, come back with our guest panellist here on the Footy Show for Art by Leonardo's and the Oakey RSL on Power TV Australia. We're live and free. Thanks for joining us for the TRL Footy Show, live and free on Power TV Australia at the Toowoomba Sports Club. Thanks to Art by Leonardo and Oakey RSL.
Yeah, well, thanks, Robbo, and it's welcome to my panellist, Justin Murphy. And mate, you've been over at New Zealand with the Warriors. They played Broncos, and it was great to have all you old fellas back there.
Yeah, it was. They had the Warriors old boys day over there against the Broncos game, and so we went in the dressing room, spent a bit of time with the team before the field at their captain's run, and then had lunch with them, and then gave them no luck for the game. But anyway, it was good to be over there.
Little Bird told me, mate, that you were the guest speaker at one show, and the speakers before you were Wayne Bennett.
Yeah, I was a bit upset.
So you were the most important one.
Well, Wayne turned up late though. He missed my speech, so I don't know if he got a discount on the admission, but
yeah, so well done. And then over to Reeds, mate. You missed Oakey last week, but it's great to have you back.
Yeah, thanks, Obi. Look, I heard it was a great show out at the Oakey RSL, and what a great concept, being able to take it out there and introduce the quiz and all that. So, yeah, great for the TRL Footy Show and great for Oakey and the other TRL clubs.
Yeah, we booked Dolby at the Criterion Hotel. Ben O'Callaghan's the sponsor of the Toowoomba Rugby League, and we're going out there on the 7th of June, which is just before Stradbroke Day. I think most people will remember.
You know, Benny O'Callaghan, I played under-16s in the Queensland Country Side with Benny years ago.
Oh, right.
So I've got a long time.
And you would have had a few beers with him then, is that right?
A few beers with him, yes. He'll look after you guys out there for sure. I'm sure
that was great. And you're not supposed to drink when you're 16, you idiot. Okay, so take us on to the Mustangs. Thanks, Reeds.
Yeah, last weekend we played the South Logan Magpies out here at Gold Park, and a good day. Good crowd actually came along, so we were very appreciative of that. But the results didn't go our way, Obi. It wasn't the way the under-18s wanted to finish. It was their last game for the Queensland-wide competition, so most of those players will go back to their respective TRL clubs, which will be great. Some of them will be looking forward to getting some of those representative players back. They were going along pretty good, the under-18s. They actually hit the front, but then towards the end, South Logan Magpies with 5 Queensland under-18 reps, 2 of them junior Kangaroos, found them a little bit too good, they were for us, and just happened to blow the score out a little bit. But look, the boys never stopped trying, and in under-20s we started off poorly, and then in the middle we put 4 tries on back-to-back pretty quickly to get very close on the scoreboard, to only be 2 points behind, but with a few injuries coming against us, we found ourselves a bit short on the bench, and the Magpies got over the top of us. But look, the under-20s venture down to Tweed Heads this week, and we've got 4 or 5 out. So we'll be looking forward to a couple of our under-18s coming up and getting an opportunity in under-20s this week against Tweed.
Yeah, absolute injury-a-thon out at the under-20s Mustangs at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, mate, we're missing 3 of our front rowers, one with a dislocated shoulder. Hetty, he's been going particularly well. Aidan Kennedy, he was absolutely fantastic for us, and he's done his ankle. Cody McNeese is out with an ankle as well at the moment. Wally Pegler got concussion on the weekend, so he's got to have this weekend off. And we're still missing Tavita Cocker with an ankle. So looking forward to a few of these boys finally getting back onto the paddock and strengthening us back up in the 20s.
Well, on to the Phillies, and the Phillies played last week. My notes are not that good, but I'm not sure where they played. I forget now, but I know that they are playing this week, and the Division 1 play South Magpies and Division 2 play Anala. So, and before we talk about that, we can put up on the screen the Southwest team for the ladies for the 47th Battalion. And the big news there is that Steph Hancock is going to play for Southwest. And ironically, as you were saying, Murph, she gets to play against the Phillies this weekend.
Yeah, she gets to play against them, so she might be giving them a few pointers as she's playing them this week to improve them for the week after, I think.
Yes.
I think she'll be good for the Mustangs, because in the past couple of years we've pretty well filled the side, and as it is this week for the 47th, there's 17 of the 19 players are the Phillies, are the Valley's Phillies. So we've done that for a number of years now, and we've always missed a little bit of leadership for someone like an Aussie rep. So to have Steph Hancock and one of the other Australian representatives in there as well going to be filling in with the Mustang side, what a great bonus for him. I think you'll see a different side this year.
Yeah, the ladies have really come on leaps and bounds. Just going through the side, I see there's a Werribone in there, Ash Taylor's sister Kiara. She's hopefully to get to the same heights as Ashley. And then, of course, they're tried and tested. Emily Young, I think she's going to be in the leadership group. And then you've got Steph Hancock, of course, and Molly O'Connell, which we've had on the footy show before. But yeah, that's it for the Phillies. We'll have hopefully Richard Dugdale, the coach of the Phillies, at next week's show, and hopefully we'll have some of the players and take us to the break, Robert.
All right, we'll take a break now on the footy show for Art by Leonardo, Oki RSL and Power FM. After the break, we'll recap round 5 of the TRL.
This is Debbie Harrow from Blondie.
This is Jimmy Barnes here.
Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac.
This is Reverend Willie G from ZZ Top.
The best tracks from the greatest albums of our generation.
That's right.
From your breakfast and coffee to your drive home.
We've got the classic hits that make your workday,
When you got a job to do, go by a lot faster.
if we haven't said it lately. Thanks for listening. The home of classic rock.
Don't touch the dial.
PowerFMradio.com.au.
Whether you're a professional musician, a weekend warrior, or just starting out, you need to talk to the experts at Royce Music. With over 35 years experience, Royce, Toowoomba's oldest music store, specialise in guitars, drums and sound equipment, and can even repair and maintain your equipment. Call them today on 46 327 377, drop into their showroom at 17 Bowen Street, or find them on Facebook. Royce Music, selling Toowoomba's finest musical instruments.
Hi, I'm Neil from CGD Group, and we do printing with imagination. Our products and imaging have that wow factor. Whether it be business cards, flyers, the Coffee Gazette, or our brand new A5 video folders and animation. Have your business branding remembered. Call us today on 4639 5553. CGD Group, printing with imagination.
On Power TV Australia, we take a frank look at computers, the internet and social media with a team of experts from around the world with Switched On IT. Learn what makes the internet tick and how to keep your kids safe online. Discover a whole new world of entertainment at www.powertvaustralia.com or download the app from the Google Play Store.
The Mother's Day Classic raises funds for the National Breast Cancer Foundation, a not-for-profit organisation that promotes and supports research into the prevention and treatment of breast cancer. This year's event is on Sunday 13 May at Queen's Park, Lindsay Street, East Toowoomba from 7 a.m. Register now online for either the 3-kilometre walk or 6-kilometre run at www.mothersdayclassic.com.au. Then follow the prompts to the Toowoomba event. Cost for adult early birds $20 or on the day $25. Child concession early birds $10 or on the day $15, and family registrations are available. For more info, email mdctoowoomba@gmail.com. The Mother's Day Classic is proudly supported by Power TV Australia and Toowoomba's Power FM.
And welcome back to the TRL Footy Show, live and free from the Toowoomba Sports Club here on Power TV Australia. Round 5 of the TRL's come and gone, Obi.
Yes, it sure has, and what an historical round, especially for the Oakey Bears. I think it's very significant, and the injection that the Toowoomba Rugby League competition needed with a inspirational win 30-14 over Gatton, Murph.
Yeah, definitely. You guys must have got the spirits of the town and the players up there by going out there last week, and seeing them get a good win like that, it's great for the town and it's great for rugby league in this area.
Yeah, well, we've only really got South and Brothers that are not that competitive, and let's face it, they're not. But it's nice to have 9 out of the 11 teams. You don't know what you're going to get, but what a great win for Oakey on the weekend, Reeds.
Yeah, I think it was great that they had a great win. Gatton, you know, obviously been playing quite well, and then Oakey started the season off pretty hot, and then struck a little bit of a patch there where they struck some of the top clubs, but obviously to come out against Gatton, they're showing that they're going to be a contender this year. Dylan
Hay, I got our Toowoomba Sports Club player of the match, and Josh Robinson, an absolute perler of a tackle on Francis Hahn in the second half. Got our Toowoomba Sports Club play of the day. Reserve grade 58-0 to Gatton. Gatton won an entertaining under-18 game, 38 points to 20, and then in second division Gatton 36-4 there as well. Now
these have been strong, haven't they, in the second division Gatton for a number of years?
Second and reserve grade.
Always in the grand final or winning it. So
yeah, I don't know why.
Where's Murray still playing there?
I think so. Yeah, he loves a second division, but they just got some smart cookies down there, and I think the same. But a bloke by the name of Andrew Schmidt's been there for many years.
Yeah, Smitty, yeah.
One
year he coached C grade and reserve grade both to the grand final on the same day, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he was involved with Jason Kubert for years, and they're the gels that hold clubs like that at the grassroots, of course. Now, Pittsworth to continue their form, 74-4 over Brothers in reserve grade. Pittsworth 56-6, and Pittsworth clean sweep here, 62-0 and 56-18 in the second division. And then a great day for the Jim Stevens Memorial Inaugural Trophy out there. Valleys 26-4 over Warwick, and 4-0 at half-time, Murph.
Yeah, no, was a big day for the Jim Stevens Memorial Trophy, and it's a great thing these two clubs have put on there for him. And I know Ryan was out there, and it was unfortunately he couldn't play in the game, but I think it was good that he was there for the game as well. It's his uncle.
Yeah, well, Jim was the NRL Development Officer in the Warwick competition there. And look, with that win, don't take too much away from the 4 points from Warwick. They'll bounce back because they had an absolute brutal game the week before against Gatton. And not giving anything away from Oakey, they were very good, but Gatton, they came off the back of that Warwick one. Whereas Valleys, look, very form side, the only side undefeated at the present time. and congratulations to them. In reserve grade, Valley's 24-18, and under 18, Valley's 48-12. That's a good win. In second division, Warwick 36 defeated Valley 6. And then, oh, by the way, in under 18s, Highfields, and they beat South Burnett over at Kingaroy 36 points to 8. Now on to our match of the day, and 28-6 at half time, Wattles over Dalby. They really put their hand up in that first half, Wattles, didn't they, Reeds?
Yeah, I was listening to that game, and it sounds like they were going good. Like they had probably one of their best squads together for the that they could put on. Dalby going along great, weren't they? You know, but they showed how good they are, Dalby, with how well they fought back to close the gap there between themselves and Wattles. But that would have been such a great match to watch, I reckon. Well,
it was. It was probably the most perfect half of football I've seen in a long time. It was very, very windy, and the completion rate, I was doing the stats, 11 from 13 for the Wattles. But all goes well for this week against Highfields, Murph.
Yeah, definitely. Wattles would have been on a high. I know Matty Duggan got married the week before, and they were all back from there, so
they were fresh.
They would have been fresh, and they would have been in good spirits after going to the wedding as well. So I think there was about 5 of the players at the wedding, and they all come back for this game. So
yeah, so let's not discount here. It was a perfect half for Wattles, but it's the first time I've seen 28 points scored against Dalby for a long, long time in one half. So, ouch, that really hurt, and they just didn't come to play. So, but they didn't control the ball. But we'll see how they go over the next couple of weeks. Reserve grade 51-22, Wattles over Dalby.
That's a bit of an odd score, isn't it? 51-22.
Yeah, well, I see Wade Austin. He shaped up for the drop kick right on full time there. So someone had to remind him.
A bit of salt into the wound.
Yes, that's right. He must have, I don't know, had a bet on or something like that. Under 18s, out 74-0, Dalby over Wattles. And in second division, Stanthorpe and Dalby, but Dalby got the biscuits by 10 points to 8. Gundawindi 82-10 over South there. So they've shaped up, and that was their first win of the 2018 season. Reserve grade Gundawindi, good win away, 32-28 against South, and then in under 18s, another close game, 28 points to 24. Take us to the break, Robbo.
As we go to the break, let's have a look at an interview with Shane Turl after Oakie's brilliant win on the weekend. Right here on Power TV, this is the TRL Footy Show.
Yeah, Andrew O'Brien, part of the QRL and TRL Media, and also the Oakie Bears here. And look, this fella beside me, we've had a bit of a history, him and I, for the last 3 or 4 seasons, mate. And I tell you what, mate, I don't know whether it's relief, but it's elation at the moment, isn't it?
It is for me, mate. Yeah, it's been a tough couple of seasons out here, being president of the club and playing and doing pretty much everything. But mate, it's really good to see. It's good to see a really good bunch of boys here. And I heard Dylan say before that we can play some footy, so when we can put it together, we're looking good.
Rewind the beginning of last season, Shane. I think we were stressed just watching you trying to revive this historical club.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, like I said, it hasn't been easy, but we're getting there, mate. There's still a lot of work to do. Look, we aren't by any means world beaters at the moment, but there's a lot of belief in these boys, though. So. We'll see where we go. We'll keep turning up and see where we go.
Yeah, I think the belief got you across the line tonight, that belief. And look, we were all expecting the Hawks to come back in that second half, but hey, mate, they didn't even score just about, did they?
No, I don't think they did. I think we did.
No, they did. They only scored in the 32nd minute, and that was it.
Yeah. So that was, we worked pretty hard. We talked about it at half time about how hard they're going to come out, and yeah, we're pretty happy with how we performed in that second half.
I think you, of all people, mate, is going to celebrate long and hard, mate. So congratulations,
Thanks,
mate, on behalf of the Rugby League fraternity.
Cheers, Avi. Thanks.
Looking for exposure for your business or event? Take your business, community event, training seminar, sports fixture, function concert or exhibition to the world with Power TV Australia and Power FM's unique live outside simulcasts. We can turn your next local event into a worldwide sensation with stunning live pictures, interviews, graphics and live action replays for a fraction of the usual cost. From a festival or sports fixtures to a corporate or charity event, Power TV Australia and Power FM can take your message live to our local and national viewers and listeners. Invite the world to your party by contacting Barry today on 0431 390 920 or email programming@powertvaustralia.com for a quote.
Hi, this is Sarah and Bron looking after our feet at Hip Pocket Toowoomba. Lace up, zip side, pull on, men's, women's, kids, healthcare and construction. Get fitted for your shoes and check out our range of work socks. At Hip Pocket, we rock it.
Art by Leonardo's has moved to the Toowoomba Homemaker Centre. Sit down with a coffee and our friendly, experienced staff can help you choose the perfect custom frame to suit your artwork and budget. Plus, all framing is done on site. Come and visit us at our new showroom. At the roundabout, take the third exit onto the War Ego Highway.
See, honey, we will be there in no time.
You were supposed to take this... online is easier.
Make a U-turn immediately.
It's all right, honey. The GPS is just recalibrating.
Turn left into the river now.
This is going well. The car park is chockers. Why didn't we just go online?
Yes, madam. Just take the mouse and log on to powerfmrockshop.com.au.
The Power FM Rock Shop. You bought the album, saw the concert, now own the t-shirt. www.powerfmrockshop.com.au.
Hi, this is Bron and Sarah from Hip Pocket Toowoomba. Join us every Monday night at 7 p.m. on Power TV Australia for our new safety show, Rocking It with Hip Pocket. When we explore work safety issues, demonstrate how to use safety equipment, discuss your workwear and PPE options and much, much more. Find out what safety equipment you need for the job, why you need it and how to use it in this fast-paced, informative show. Discover a whole new world of entertainment every Monday night at 7 p.m. at www.powertvaustralia.com or download the app from the Google Play Store. And remember, at Hip Pocket, we rock it.
The Mother's Day Classic raises funds for the National Breast Cancer Foundation, a not-for-profit organisation that promotes and supports research into the prevention and treatment of breast cancer. This year's event is on Sunday, 13 May at Queen's Park, Lindsay Street, East Toowoomba from 7 a.m. Register now online for either the 3-kilometre walk or 6-kilometre run at www.mothersdayclassic.com.au. Then follow the prompts to the Toowoomba event. Cost for adults early birds $20 or on the day $25. Child concession early birds $10 or on the day $15 and family registrations are available. For more info, email mdctoowoomba@gmail.com. The Mother's Day Classic is proudly supported by Power TV Australia and Toowoomba's Power FM.
And welcome back to the TRL Footy Show, live and free on Power TV Australia. Time to talk round 6 of the TRL this weekend. Obi?
Yes, and we've only got the one Obi and Cookie call this week, and that will be at Highfields. We'll talk about that in a sec. On the Saturday games, Gatton versus South, Brothers versus Warwick. I think we all agree that Gatton and Warwick will take those biscuits there. On to the Sunday games, 3 quality games, Valleys versus Pittsworth. And Valleys have got some unfinished business, Murph, because Pittsworth just did the 1-2 or in their preliminary final last year when Valleys ceremoniously exited the 2017 final series.
No, they do. They've got a bit of revenge there to get, I think, because they were looking so good last year until the 1-2 in the finals. But hopefully they've learned a lot from that, and I think Valleys will be pretty hard to beat in this game.
And Reece, I want to ask you, Todd White's been playing at Pittsworth. Isn't he under 20s?
No, he finished under 20s last year with us, so he's now 21 this year, and he's been going particularly well for Pittsworth and standing up there. And they've got a number of our former under 20s players out there, as have Valleys. So as you said earlier, look, this is going to be a great game. The Roosters are undefeated at the moment. Pittsworth coming off a very comprehensive win last week against Brothers. So yeah, I reckon this will be a cracking game. Valleys versus Pittsworth, got a great opportunity.
Yeah, and again, we talk about games the week before. Valleys Warwick had a big physical pack, and Pittsworth had probably a lighter game, so it's interesting. It's still Valleys from, if in doubt, go the home side, I'm still going for Valleys.
Pittsworth, I think they've got to try and get a game up here too. They're just out of the 5 as well, so I think if they get this game, they can hang it in around there. If they lose this game again, they might be slipping away a bit further as well. So
now, an even more delicious game is Gundawindi and Oakey out there at Gilbert's Park, or Gilbert's Oval, is it called?
Gilbert Oval, yeah.
Gilbert Oval, yeah. And look, what a fantastic venue that is to watch footy. And look, again, Gundawindi's got some unfinished business because they were very poor in their very first home game, where they were embarrassed by Pittsworth. And look, they've had a soft win against South. And then Oakey, who played a tough game against Gatton, I'm still going to go for Gundawindi. But look, I can't discount Oakey. Gatton were 14-12 in front through the first half. After Oakey led 12-0, and then Gatton did not score again for the rest of the game. So that's going to be really interesting, isn't it, Murph?
It is. It's like you said, that's going to be a really good game out there. Is it last year? Was it Oakey Gundy? Was that the really big score against?
No, we went out there and we called that game. It was a great night. It was a Mental League weekend, and I called it because I didn't want to rest the other guys. And it was the sponsors' day, and I think any of the sponsors out on the veranda actually saw that game that night. But you ever had that feeling before, Reed?
Yeah, I've been to a few football matches and got stuck in the bar and found out the game was over. But look, this is going to be a good game. Gundawindi have got a good side, and they're just starting to build now. A week before they played South, they put in a really tough effort, and they were unfortunate, probably not to be a little bit closer, but it was a tough match. And I think anyone who travels to Gundy this year is going to find out. But Oakey, impressive against Gatton last week, and I reckon they're going to go on with it, mate. I'm going to tip them to roll the Gundawindi Boys.
Well, there you go. And look, most importantly, Will Carter is back last week for Gundawindi. So, and this Andrew Hoggett, I've seen him play against Warwick. He was quite impressive with his first game. Do you know much about him, Reed?
No, I don't know him. I know a few of the others, like Tyrell McCulloch. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Andrew Hoggett, and he's in the front row, and he scored 3 tries against the Tigers last week. But look, I'm looking forward. We're going out there in a couple of weeks. I think they take on Dalby. So look, it's great to see 2 competitive sides going at it. It's very important, that game, because it'll define their season if they want to make the 5. On to the Obi and Cookie Call on Power FM for the Hutchies match of the round. And Robbo,
yes,
you've actually picked Highfields for the grand final.
Highfields will win the comp.
And you think they'll beat Waddles on the weekend?
Absolutely. They're at home, they're fresh, and they'll win.
And why do you have to be so blunt all the time?
Because, mate, I'm a straight-up guy, that's it.
I'm a stand-up guy. And
both of these could remember last time these 2 teams met was in the semi-finals again, and penalty goal just before full time, or was it in extra time?
Yeah, extra time, and they've changed the rules because of that now. It's I think 5 each way, which they actually play instead of golden point. 5 each way, or 10, I forget.
5 each way.
And then you get 5 each way, and then golden point. But what a cracker of a game it's going to be.
It's going to be a cracker of a game, and another bit of incentive for these 2 teams is the winner is still going to be eligible for the Madsen Rasmussen at halfway point as well. The loser will probably lose a little bit of touch of that. So
yes, well, we'll talk all Madsen Rasmussen, which is very exciting after the 47th. Isn't this going to be a great game, this Highfields Waddles game, Reed?
Yeah, look, it's going to be as you picked it, it's a game of the round. Both sides, going along particularly well. I think Highfields, after having the bye last week, and obviously Waddles having a pretty tough second half there, with Dolby really hitting the straps in the second half and making that game a little bit closer. I'm going to think Highfields will just get over the top of them. I think Gus will have them really revved up. The boys will all be fit, no niggling injuries. So I'm going to go with Highfields to just get over Waddles.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. I think Highfields are going to be quite a lot fresher than Waddles. But I'm not taking away that Waddles are my pick for the premiers this year. And if they win this game, then they will confirm their premiership as far as I'm concerned, Merv.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to be tough, and they'll definitely be up there, Waddles, and they're premiership favourites. But I think Gus might get Highfields up for this game, and this is a game that they'll be looking to get back and stamp their authority as well.
Yeah, and I think what I've been saying consistently is that Waddles have come off Valleys and Dolby, and Highfields have had a pretty easy run into this game. So all be, and we go live at 1:30, don't we, Robbo?
Absolutely, live and free on Power FM. Sunday afternoon footy, there's nothing better, is there?
No, it's not.
All right, before the break, let's look at an interview with Oakey's Josh Robinson after Oakey's win last week over Gatton. This is the TRL Footy Show, brought to you by Art by Leonardo's, Power FM and Oakey RSL on Power TV Australia.
Andrew O'Brien reporting for QRL and TRL Media, and we're here for the Toowoomba Sports Club Player of the Day, and it goes to Josh Robinson for that late second half tackle on Francis Hahn. It was an absolute beauty, mate, and congratulations on your win today.
Yeah, cheers. It's good to get the win. Just upwards and on from here. Like, we're improving as a squad, and hopefully we get some more wins in our belt and we press the top 5 at the end of the season.
Yeah, look, I think it was the most important win you've had in at least the last 3 seasons. Don't you agree, Josh?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was a definitely need to win game, especially for our confidence, and we got the team to do it. So hopefully we just can keep bonding, get back to training, and just keep completing sets, and yeah, hopefully it all comes together.
Well, don't go away, mate. I've got a $50 food voucher for you, mate, which we'll take a photo later on, mate. Congratulations.
Cheers.
Break out the popcorn, sweets and drinks. It's Sunday night at the movies. Latest release movies brought to you exclusively by US filmmakers, including Lima Films. Sunday night at the movies, so join us every Sunday night at 7 p.m. right here on Power TV Australia.
Hi, this is Mick Jagger on
Classic Vinyl.
This is Debbie Arrow from Blondie.
This is Jimmy Barnes here.
Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac.
This is Reverend Willie G from ZZ Top.
The best tracks from the greatest albums of our generation.
That's right.
From your breakfast and coffee to your drive home.
We've got the classic hits that make your workday.
When you got a job to do, go by a lot faster.
Hey, if we haven't said it lately, thanks for listening.
The home of classic rock. Don't touch the dial.
PowerFMradio.com.au.
Playing indoor netball, cricket, soccer, dodgeball and volleyball is a great way to keep fit and catch up with friends, and the place to go and play any or all of these sports is Action Indoor Sports. There are competitions for juniors and adults of all levels of ability, from beginners to the most experienced. Action Indoor Sports is home to Inflatable World, an inflatable theme park for all ages, and new and coming soon, indoor softball. Go and see for yourself. Action Indoor Sports is located at 31 Spencer Street, Toowoomba. Check out the website ToowoombaIndoorSports.com or phone 4635 9999.
Well, welcome along to My Music. I'm Jeff Black. Let me tell you about the T-Bird Diner. Well, just over here, we've got a Ford custom line that's crashed through the wall. Next episode on My Music on Power TV Australia. I'll see you then.
The Mother's Day Classic raises funds for the National Breast Cancer Foundation, a not-for-profit organisation that promotes and supports research into the prevention and treatment of breast cancer. This year's event is on Sunday 13 May at Queen's Park, Lindsay Street, East Toowoomba from 7 a.m. Register now online for either the 3-kilometre walk or 6-kilometre run at www.mothersdayclassic.com.au. Then follow the prompts to the Toowoomba event. Cost for adults early birds $20 or on the day $25. Child concession early birds $10 or on the day $15, and family registrations are available. For more info, email mdctoowoomba@gmail.com. The Mother's Day Classic is proudly supported by Power TV Australia and Toowoomba's Power FM.
And welcome back to the TRL Footy Show, live and free from the Toowoomba Sports Club on Power TV Australia. And it's time to talk the 47th Battalion. It's over to the panel.
Well, I tell you what a fantastic lead up it was for the 47th Battalion, Murph, wasn't it, mate? You know, like what a most anticipated side to be named.
It is. It's been anticipated. The 47th Battalion being held in Toowoomba for the first time's added extra interest as well, and the competition for spots in that team's been really good early in the season, so I think it's really good.
And it's a pleasure to have on the Footy Show the coach of the 47th Battalion, Chris McEwen. How are you, Chris?
All right, over yourself?
Yeah, good. What a headache you've had the last month or so.
Well, not just me, the other two selectors. There's three of us trying to pick the side, and unfortunately there's been some quality players in the competition, particularly in a number of key positions, which has made it pretty hard.
So let's have a look at the side if we can, and I know there's been some changes or impending changes as well. We've got Jackson Green from Waddles at fullback, Alex Ambier, and Billy Jackwitz is confirmed he's not playing today, is that right?
He's out now, yes.
And have you brought someone in for that role?
That has been decided today. We're chasing that player today.
So that's how fresh it is. In the centres, Jake Hargraves came in for Joey Firmono through the week. And Steve Franciscus is looking a bit injured as well, but we'll see how he goes. And then in the halves, which I think is the best selection here, Murph, Jared Lee and Matt Duggan in the halves are our top two players over the last couple of seasons, eh?
Yeah, definitely. I think Matt's been there a while now, and the experience that he'll give to Jared will be great for this team as well.
And I think, was it always fait accompli? What's the word? That those halves were going to be picked, Chris?
Oh, well, I think we look at the performances last year, and both those went away, and Matt didn't play a lot of football up there, and what impressed us is when he was out, Jared actually took the lead role in the team and led him around the paddock and was very, very good, and I thought he deserved another opportunity this year.
And of course, did it have any weight? Well, then I need to ask you, Chris, we've had 5 rounds, certainly their performances over that 5 rounds just reconfirms their status, because you had people like Corey McGrady, and you had James Dempsey playing well,
Sean Loxley
as well.
Yeah, and then you top that off with Corey McGrady and
I said that, yeah,
young Murphy at Warwick, all into consideration. So the halves was a real headache this year, and we've gone through the experience and obviously the combination from last year to give them the opportunity to go again.
Yeah, Matt Duggan, as I said, he got our player of the round on the weekend. Ronnie David, when I've seen him, was under windy against Warwick, and he is a solid player and always plays well at the next level. He's got one proper, hasn't he, mate?
He is. He plays above his weight too, and you know what you're going to get, I think, with Ronnie. He'll run off the kick-off and he'll run as hard as he can, and he'll play as hard as he can the whole time, so you know what you're going to get with Ronnie.
And his fellow prop is Dale Perkins. I think I wrote through the week it was about his 6th or 7th campaign for the Clydesdales in this 47th Battalion tournament, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, it would be, and he was outstanding last year. I thought he was one of the unfortunate players not to go on and play for the Crows. He had a great carnival, his work rate was phenomenal, and even when he got injured and put himself out from club football, he actually ran off the field, he didn't walk off, so I think it's full credit to him to be in the side again this year.
Ben Sullivan has really impressed me, Chris, because he's just exploded onto the scene this when he's returned. He had a couple of seasons off, and he's beaten players such as the calibre of Nathan Bowring, Danny Wassell, Daniel Marsh was in the rep side, so he's been in superb form.
Yeah, that's correct. around the middle of the ruck, he's very dangerous. He gets out of dummy half and he can play some footy. But more importantly, he's a very solid defender. He's really good in the middle of the ruck. He mightn't be a real big body, but his defence is outstanding.
Yeah, so don't you agree, mate? Ben Sullivan's a beauty.
He is a beauty, and that's another spot where there is a lot of talent in this area in the hooking role. Another player, and he doesn't play hooker all the time, but Nick Bainbridge from Highfields as well. He's a talented player.
Yeah, that's right.
To keep players like that out, he's doing something well.
And the back row, look, Daniel York, Jason Wardrop picked themselves. Mitch Cornier, not many people know Mitch, but he's come back from Q Cup experience, and he's a very experienced and very good player. Chris, tell us about him.
Yeah, Mitch has come through the Clydesdale system, through the under-18s and under-20 system, and went away down to Ipswich to have a crack at Q Cup. Had a year off with a shoulder reconstruction. A really good edge back rower, and his combination with Matt Duggan's the key of why he was selected. He combines very well with Matty Duggan and Jackson Green when they come together, so it made it really easy to pick a player like that, because I think those combinations are pretty important.
Yeah, I agree, don't you, Matt?
Definitely. Mitch has been a good kid too for a while up here, and for him to come back after getting a bit of experience down in Ipswich, I think it's good for our competition that players like that come back, and hopefully he goes well at this level now as well.
And of course the rest of the squad, Dylan Chown, one of my favourite players, Corey McGrady, fantastic in the Emus game, and also for Valleys, hadn't he, Chris?
Yeah, that's correct, and we actually looked at some the Emus game and a couple of other trials that we had early in the year, and Corey was a standout player in that Indigenous game, and he's been outstanding for his club this year at Valleys, and his combination with Dylan Chown was another reason why they've come together. We think they can be an X factor in the carnival. Dylan knows where the try line is, and Corey just reads the game well, and I think that'll balance off coming off the bench going on, and giving one of the other halves a rest, because we've got to play 3 games in 2 days. So I think he'll be a really good quality player for our carnival.
Now Xavier Manley, he's had a lot of other front rowers actually selected in front of him over the last 3 or 4 years, but he has really got better these last couple of years, because his go forward is very good, isn't it, Murph?
He's been good for a while, Xavier, and he's been up in Toowoomba for a long time. He started at Valleys and come through, then he moved on to Wattles and got some grand final success there, and he's at Dalby, and he's just getting better and better, like you said, now.
And talking about the Emus game, Josh Robinson, I thought, what a fantastic selection you've got here, Chris. He can play centre, he can play wing, he'd probably go in second row.
Yeah, that's correct, and that's the other thing. When you pick a side like this, you get the 19 players for the 3 games. You've got to look at players that can multi-skill and play in a number of different positions, particularly if you lose a player early in the game, which we've done in other carnivals. And Josh offers opportunities to play centre, wing, fullback. He's a powerful runner of the ball, and the back 5 nowadays in the game have really got to be strong runners, and he's a big body. He's put a lot of weight on Josh, and I think he's going to be another player that will go very well in the carnival.
And speaking of utility players, Alona Budden and Ty Gardner, Budden's a lot fitter this year after his pre-season with Wynnum.
Yeah, he's been really good, and his body's in good shape, like you said. He spends a lot of time in the gym, and the preparation for his game that he does, it shows on the field, I think, so it's a credit to him.
And with your injuries with the centres, I was just thinking, with the loss of Fuimono, you lost a bit of size, but someone like Alona and obviously Josh, they're just a bit bigger, and they can add a bit oomph given the opportunity when you're playing those 3 games.
Yeah, that's correct. Those guys that play on the edges have got a lot more work rate now. It's not about being slick and scoring tries. You've actually got to have strong carries into traffic. Our game plan is down the edge. What a lot of people don't realise is the games are only 25 minutes each way, so it's not like an 80-minute game where you've got to get into the grind and wear sides down. You've got to get out of the blocks and play really, really quick and take your opportunities when they come. So that's why some of these players have been selected.
I think a couple of unlucky players, Aaron Cherry, James Dempsey, to name a couple. Highfields have probably suffered by not playing enough competitive games in the early part of the season, and Nicky Bainbridge must feel very unlucky, Murph, don't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I think I was looking at the top of the Toowoomba players at the moment, and I think 5 out of the 4 out of those 5 weren't picked, so it shows the competition in this. But to get in a rep team, you've got to have that consistency for a while, I reckon, as well, not just 4 weeks or 5 weeks. So Stumpy would have been planning this since last year, getting who he wants to get in this team, and
And Murph, we were speaking before we went on air, there's a few players out there that just need a TRL season under their belt, a la Dylan Wilson, a la
Dylan Hayer.
Dylan Hayer. He's probably needs that extra season under there because it's a long season. We want to know that the match tough. There's a lot of players coming through, like Willow Grady, Todd White from Pittsworth.
Yeah, those young guys are probably, particularly the forwards, are still learning their trade, and they still got a little bit of footy to learn to come up to the next level, because when we go to the Carnival, they do come up against Q Cup players. I know last year our first game against Rocky had Q Cup players playing in it, and our final when we played Sunshine Coast had players that have played Q Cup, trained in Q Cup, and already had Queensland jerseys. So you're up against some quality players, and it's really important that they learn their trade in the first grade and obviously bring them through. And we do try and bring some young blokes through to the squad each year. We've got young Ty Gardner, who's only been playing rugby league for 4 years, come into the squad this year. Josh Robinson's only still young, so there's some young guys coming into the squad looking for the future.
Yeah, well, congratulations, and I'm sure you'll be here next week, where we'll be a couple of nights out from the actual tournament, and the TRL rests on that weekend, which is the weekend after next. So we're looking forward. Congratulations. Thanks for coming along tonight, Chris. And Robbie, you might want to take us to break.
I was just wondering, you don't rest the players this weekend? They actually play their club games?
No, that's the downside. We've got to try and get through this weekend without picking up any more injuries. We hope that that's the case. It makes it very hard to pull players in the week before the Carnival because they've got to take time off work, etc. And we just got to keep our fingers crossed we don't have any injuries. Last year we were lucky we didn't. The year before we had 13 changes before we actually went to the Carnival, so we're hoping that's not going to be the case this year, particularly when we're playing at home.
All right, fingers crossed. We're a big crowd we want out there to cheer on the boys over the 2 days, and hopefully we can win back-to-back titles. Coming up after the break, we'll have Obi's Rant. This is the TRL Footy Show, live and free on Power TV.
Hi, this is Bron and Sarah at Hip Pocket Toowoomba. Hi Viz, traditional and rural workwear, shirts, pants, shorts, lightweight and drill. At Hip Pocket, we have it all. Men's, ladies and kids, we have something for everyone. Google Hip Pocket Toowoomba, Anzac Avenue. At Hip Pocket, we rock it.
The Barn & Scotty's Garage is the ideal place to relax on the weekend with wood fires in winter, cool trees in summer. The Barn is a unique venue for functions, weddings, parties and social gatherings. Sample good old-fashioned home-style cooking for brekkie on Saturdays and Sundays, or enjoy great coffee, cakes, Devonshire tea, gourmet burgers and lunchtime grills. The Barn & Scotty's Garage is open Friday 10 a.m. to 2 p.m, Saturdays and Sundays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m, and other times by appointment. Located just 8 minutes from Toowoomba on Flagstone Creek Road. For bookings, phone 4697 5334.
The Mother's Day Classic raises funds for the National Breast Cancer Foundation, a not-for-profit organisation that promotes and supports research into the prevention and treatment of breast cancer. This year's event is on Sunday 13 May at Queen's Park, Lindsay Street, East Toowoomba from 7 a.m. Register now online for either the 3-kilometre walk or 6-kilometre run at www.mothersdayclassic.com.au. Then follow the prompts to the Toowoomba event. Cost for adults early birds $20 or on the day $25. Child concession early birds $10 or on the day $15, and family registrations are available. For more info, email mdctoowoomba@gmail.com. The Mother's Day Classic is proudly supported by Power TV Australia and Toowoomba's Power FM.
And welcome back to the Toowoomba Sports Club, and we're live here on Power TV for the TRL Footy Show. Now it's time for Obi's Rant.
Well, I will tell you that I spoke about this subject last year, and I've seen evidence of it again just early here. What I am big on is camaraderie between all of us, in between inter-club stuff. There has been occasions which I've seen a lot of teams that the visiting teams actually don't go into, say, the bar or to speak to the other clubs when they go in. Some clubs are really, really good, and I congratulate Pittsworth when they do it. There's probably some others out there that I've missed, but the majority of the clubs, those players don't realise how much of importance it is for them, not only to go into the opposition clubs, but to be around their supporters or younger players in the environment they're in, that they actually feel, then that's what creates culture, doesn't it, Murph?
Well, definitely it does. There's volunteers that have been working all day. They come in there, they want to talk to the players after the game. The players that hang around, the 18s, reserve grade, C grade, if they all hang around and support their club. And then for the opposing team as well, I reckon it's a mark of respect. You're in there for the one thing, rugby league, to go in there and enjoy a conversation and doesn't have to be a boat race like the old days like we used to have it. Just have a drink, a bit of a conversation. I think it'll build that camaraderie for rugby league, and we can only improve from there.
And Reeds, clubs are very alike, whether they're getting beaten by thousands or close or competitive, or there's been a melee out on the field or whatever, but they're all the same, aren't they, mate?
Yeah, look, and as Murph said, you know, the boat races or the old 3-2-1s where you used to give a 3-2-1 to your own side and to the opposition, and they'd all get in there and have a beer and a bit of a chat, and that we used to love that. And particularly heart and soul of your club was C grade, and they'd play and then they'd stick around and support the bar, and your 18s, they never wanted to leave. They wanted to stay there and watch the reserve grade and the A grade. But sadly now you see them, as soon as their game's over, they've got their bag over their shoulder and they're off out the door, and you're not seeing the club build as a club, and then, as you said about the opposition sticking around, and it is how your clubs make money, is you to stick around, and even if you just have a couple of soft drinks and a bit of a chat. Yeah, but even if you don't have a soft drink or not even spend any money whatsoever, I tell you what, it goes tenfold, and you're watched by the officials of the game that build your character. So I challenge the clubs to actually even nominate 4 or 5 of their team, all right, to be designated everywhere. Imagine going out to Gundawindi or Dalby, for example. They're long trips, and everyone just hops in their car and goes and don't go and have a drink, Murph.
No, that's right, exactly. I think clubs should, especially going on those long trips, get in there, support the club, talk to the people out there. They're out in country areas. People come from Toowoomba or wherever you come from, and give them a bit of your experience. Show them that we're good blokes. Everyone in rugby league are good blokes, and mingle around. Yeah, but don't forget it's a two-way street, Reeds, of course. Let's say Gundy's come to say, what's a long trip? Gatton's the longest one. Okay, it's up to, I believe, the host to invite them in, albeit for a couple of minutes, given that they've got a long trip back. Don't you agree, Reed? Yeah, exactly. That's how we used to do it. You were sort of told by your own team, look, well, the bus is going to be leaving, 45 minutes or whatever, but we'd all be expected to go in and have a drink or have a yarn to the opposing players along with your own teammates, instead of just jumping in your car or heading off. So we're always encouraged to go on the bus as a team and stay there as a team afterwards. I actually missed the bus home from Stanthorpe a few times and didn't make it home till the next day, but they all looked after me out there. It was great. Yeah, that's great, mate. I've done that and hadn't got home until the next Friday, actually. So but I will challenge everyone. I do go in and make a point of going to speak to the actual clubs and care about them. And I will put a challenge out there. If an opposition player in A grade comes up to me, all right, and says, "We heard you on the footy show," the first person to do it, I will shout that person a drink. So, I reckon you should shout everyone a beer, and I hope they all come up and ask you. Yes, no, specifically Reed, you idiot. Okay, we are only going to shout one beer, okay? So we go from there. Oh, dear.
Can I just have a topic here to talk about?
Yes, mate.
We're almost through the show, and you have not once mentioned that you're the only person that tipped Oakey last week. Yes, well, hey, look, I tell you what, I'm the only person that tipped Oakey last week. Is absolutely fantastic. How are you going on the Tippinobi overall? Well, not, you're in front. Oh, am I? And I am only two behind you, but... So when you tipped a winner, that's great, mate, but when you've tipped 6 losers with it, it doesn't really count. Yeah, that's right. And Reed, hang on. You don't see many games. How come you are on top? I do follow the games. I read them in the paper. I do see, I listen to it on the radio, and I do talk to a lot of the different club coaches or presidents and ask how they're going and look at what the team's doing. And yeah, so I do follow it a fair bit, whether I get to the games. But I do sneak into a couple of the games every now and then and just park at the end and enjoy watching the rugby league without any jobs to do. That's the longest answer I've seen for well, just what I wanted to say is I guess. That's why I'm on top of the table guess. And you're nowhere near it. You watch all these games and you're not on the top of the table. No, my goodness. Right. Oh, that's right. How about you, Murph? Oh, you're not in the tip. We'll get you in next year. All right, so
Anyway, that's a show. We're looking forward to next week because it's going to be a great show. 47th Battalion weekend. We'll have all the ins and outs of the ladies. Hopefully we have a heap on the panel here. So thanks for coming, Murph. Thanks for coming to Reeds. And Robbo, take us to the break. Take us to the end.
And thanks for your company as well, as we thank our major sponsors, Art by Leonardo's in the Homemaker Centre, Prescott Street, Oakey RSL Club and Power FM, playing one great song after another and airing one great footy game after another as well. Also thanks to Royce Music and the Computer Troubleshooters. And remember, if you'd like to be a part of advertising on the Footy Show or with Power TV Australia or Power FM, just contact us by phone or email. You can look us up on our websites and all the details are there. This has been a production of Power TV Australia in conjunction with Power FM. I'm Robbo. Thanks for your company. See you again next week for another edition of the TRL Footy Show.